So here we have a bowl that is going to be trimmed. In order to do that, we need to put it back on the wheel, not like that, but in the center. So how do you find the center real easy? Well, the easiest way is to take a needle and make a mark as close to the edge as possible. You can see that. And you can see that the distance between the edge and the circle is the same all the way. So this thing is on center. Look at that. I put my hands on it and it doesn't move at all. Notice there's no need to nail this down with pieces of clay or a Giffen grip or anything like that. If you do it correctly, there's no problem. Take your finger, make it moist, just a little moisture on your finger. Turn the wheel on and hold it in the center. That little bit of moisture is enough to secure the wheel or the pot to the wheel. And you hold it in place, and then you take your favorite trimming tool and you trim the pot. Now, as you saw on the previous video, we had to remove quite a bit of clay from the outside, so we're going to do that. And I'm using the prototype of the original Kemper Classique tools that I designed and made almost 50 years ago. Check that out. All the while we're trimming, we are remembering what the inside looked like, and our brain seems to have a photographic memory of what that looked like. So here we go. We are making the foot rim on a little pot. Nothing fancy here, just a little pot. How did he nail that down like that? Well, if things are on center and if they are properly made, like formed nicely and round and not out of whack, they have a tendency to stay on center all by themselves. Especially if you don't push too hard and don't expect the clay to move 90 miles an hour. Just take your time, and if you do it correctly, you will see the emergence of a foot rim that makes this pot looking pretty good. And there you jolly well are, aren't you? Now we can sign this pot, and usually people do that. I happen to have a little stamp that I use and have used for years, which I simply imprint in the side of the pot. You never want to sign the very center of the pot, because you are not the center of the universe, contrary to what you might think. And thus it is with pottery. There's a certain way to do it. I was taught all these crazy ideas by a generation of potters that has long since passed to greener pastures. Most of them were Alfred graduates, and they definitely knew their business. That little black speck that you happen to see maybe in the center there is nothing to worry about. I'm happy with that. That's pretty cool. So there we have a properly trimmed pot that has a nice foot on it. And there you jolly well are, aren't you? See ya!